chat. Chat stands for choosing all together. My name is Susan. My colleague over here with the camera, video camera, is Lisa. And don't worry, she's not filming you, she's filming me, so I'm worried. I hate being videotaped. So, a few housekeeping instructions. Everybody needs to sign in to get their gift cards. You guys are not doing that today. And a name tag. There are restrooms around the corner. You should all know where they are. Any questions? No housekeeping questions? No. Let's get started. As you play chat, you'll learn about health research topics and spending options. You'll be making choices about health research, sometimes for yourself and sometimes with other people. Sometimes with other chatters. That's right, chatters. Chatters are those that play chat. We hope you have fun doing so. Chat relies on group discussion and communication, so we ask each of you to respect the ideas of one another. Please don't repeat what other participants have said when you leave the session. Sometimes that information is better kept private, and it should be kept private. If you have questions anytime today, by the way, just raise your hand, let us know. And there's also a help button on your screen if you'd rather let us know that way. It sends off sparklers up here, and then I know to help you. No, not really. Okay. So, the purpose of chat, which is a serious game, is to help people think about health research spending and to use this information to inform decision makers, people who make those spending decisions. Decisions about what research is done are usually made by researchers, research institutions, funding institutions, including government. In the game you play today, you make the choices about what health research dollars pay for. The research you'll be considering could benefit you, your family, and your community's health, but you'll not be able to choose everything. You will not have enough health research dollars for all the choices you might like. You will have to make some tough choices as individuals and as a group. As you play, your understanding of health research will grow. You'll form your own opinions. There may be disagreements among you. Do your part to make good group decisions. Sometimes this might mean arguing for your choice. Sometimes it might mean compromising with fellow chatters. There are 4 rounds of play in the game. In the first round, you make health research choices by yourself, considering what matters most to you and your family. The second round, you'll work on a team of 2 or 3 chatters to decide on health research priorities. In the third round, the whole group together will work to make health research choices for a community. In the fourth round, you again go back and make choices for yourself. In each round, you make health research spending choices. In the first and second rounds, you test those choices to see how well they work. Okay, you may have noticed in front of you, you have an iPad. We'll be using these to play the game. If you're unfamiliar with using a touch screen, don't worry, we can help you, but there's a few controls we'll use for the game. So, for instance, your iPad should be turned on. Everybody nodding? Okay. Connected to Wi-Fi and showing the usechat.org site as a white box on the right side to enter a game code. Everybody have that there? Okay. In that, please enter small g, capital U, 491. And then click join, not rejoin, but join. That's the box, by the way. I should have shown that picture. Small g, capital U, 491.
Carrie, could you?
Hit join, not rejoin. The join button there. Then you should get to something that shows you your player ID. A letter between A and Z. Did everyone get a letter? Great. Please, I know this is electronic and everything, but please write your letter down because you're going to need it when you complete the surveys. I recommend writing it on your name tag, but it's up to you since you don't have name tags. Tattoos work. After you've written, after you've written down the letter, just select continue. Okay, now we're asking you to take a short survey. So this is the survey link right here. Just touch that with your finger. don't touch continue, just touch the survey link and it should pop up automatically. Choose one of these game pieces as tokens, whichever one you want, doesn't
The
matter.
red or blue.
So you've chosen your little shape, you've chosen your token, that's your token, okay? Let's see, we don't need the login anymore because I did that. Okay, we're getting started, just a few more questions. So once you've chosen your token, click touch on continue.
Mm-hmm.
Then there's 5 more questions. Sorry, short 5-question demographic survey.
And that should be, is that on your next screen, Susan? Yep.
Yeah, so you click, you put, you know, gender, age, stuff like that. And just sort of look up when you're done. Short video to watch that kind of introduces what you're going to be talking about today, about health research and health research spending. Okay, so now you should have the game board, and I'm going to show a picture of it up here too, so I can tell you what's going to happen. So this is the chat game board. It's shaped like a pie. It has 13 different wedges or slices of pie, and each of these wedges represents a different category of health research. So for instance, for example, an orange wedge in the upper right is promote health. Okay, so touch on that wedge or on the name of it, either one, and you'll get to this screen. Okay. You have. Oh shoot! I gotta go back. I want to show you something. So you have a bank of 50 markers down here. These are your resources. Okay, in order to choose your priorities for research, you're going to be using those to select different categories. So for instance, if you want anything in Promote Health on this screen, you can choose it at level 1, this one at the top here, that takes 2 markers. Okay, I can't use my touch screen there. You can choose it at level 2, and that'll take 2 plus 1 markers, and that'll just happen automatically if you choose the levels. Let me show you here. If I choose level, yep, it will, automatically fill in those levels right there, okay? So you can, by the way, always go back and change. So if you decide, oh no, I don't want 2 levels, I want 3, you just choose this level and it fills it in that way, okay? So, but as you notice, that's used some of your 50 markers, 5 of them in fact, or 10% of your budget, okay? So as you go through here, these will gradually get used, and you may wind up having to go back and make some changes, so use 50, can't use more than 50. And no, you can't have level 2 without buying level 1, okay? So you can't spend 1 marker and get more than if you spend 2 markers, all right? Got that? So the computer will do that automatically for you, but just to show you, you can't say, well, I want this one. It only costs 1 marker. No, it costs 3. It's a cumulative thing. Okay? So in here, there are descriptions of what you get. So for example, I keep wanting to use a touchscreen.
I know, I see that.
Okay. So for example, level 1 here is patient-centered research on preventing the most common illnesses. Okay. In level 2, also done on preventing less common illnesses or more complicated ways to make communities, jobs, and other places healthy and safe. And level 3 is more in-depth research related to promoting health, which is really.
We're working on those.
By the way, you don't have to choose this category at all. If you want to choose not to have any research done on health promotion, you just choose that right there, and it'll just gray it out and it won't use any of your markers. So those are your options, and you're going to go through this for each of the categories. Let's see, I want to make sure I've covered everything here. Oh, when you're on that thing, if you wanna go back to the game board, you just click the X. So if you haven't made a decision, or you wanna see what else you wanna do first, just click the X in the top upper left. Okay, now, you have about 10 or 15 minutes or so to go through this by yourself. And just, again, just sort of wave, let me know, look up when you're done, and we'll try to figure out when everybody's done. So go ahead, if you have any questions, raise your hand or hit the help button.
And that's on the bottom, on the.
Oh yeah, so the
Okay.
first mark down here
Oh, there you go.
gives you some help there, but if you still want help, request assistance is on this page, and you click. So now everybody has made their choices, and you've spun the wheel and received some events that illustrate how those choices played out. I'm going to ask you to just pick one of those events that you received and read it to the rest of the group. First, tell us what category it is. So is it promote health, or is it rare diseases, or whatever? And read the little story. Tell us what you selected in that category and what the result was. Okay? Charo, you want to go first?
Sure. So my event is repeating visits,
What category is this?
quality of life.
Okay, thank you.
Repeating visits. You are in need of kidney dialysis, so you will need routine care and need to revisit the hospital a lot. You have a job and family to take care of and don't like the idea of spending so much time at the hospital.
Okay.
So I chose level 2, and it says, more research has shown that new ways to perform dialysis are faster and easier, which decrease the patient's time getting dialysis.
Okay. So what do you think about that? Are you glad you chose that level?
Yeah.
Too much? Too little?
Um,
In reading the other levels, what did you think
well,
about?
too little.
Would you change it?
Well, level 3 in this case is exactly verbatim.
Oh,
Okay.
typo.
So no real change in terms of.
So I'll
Right.
go with the cheaper version 2.
Okay, that sounds good. That sounds like a plan. Carrie, how about you?
Causes of disease. A severe sickness with high fever and skin blisters has made many people sick in your area. Your best friend has fallen ill and has been admitted to the hospital. Medical professionals don't know what is causing the sickness. I chose level 1, and that says some research is done to find the cause of the sickness. However, due to limited funds, progress is slow and months go by without an answer. So, not a great thing, but because there were other things that I thought were more important to me, I had to go with them.
Okay. You wouldn't necessarily change your choice.
Not necessarily, no.
Okay. Terrence, how about you?
Okay, I've got environmental risks, which is part of health equity. And a large number of people in your community work for a large number of people in your community work for a large local factory. Some workers have developed nerve problems with loss of feeling in their hands and feet and are no longer able to work. Some suspected that these problems are caused by chemicals used in the factory. So I didn't have, and that was one of the areas that I didn't choose.
Okay.
And so, because I didn't choose anything, it says people who develop nerve problems can't go to work, go on disability. There are always more people looking for work. And so, that I don't feel good about that.
Okay.
I would
So-
definitely, I would have made a better choice. If I, hindsight being 2020, I would have chose, I'm trying to see the levels very quickly. I would have probably at least chose level 2, but then that makes me kind of think, what would I have taken it? Because I didn't have any bins left.
okay? So you're
I
gonna have
need
to
more
take it
money.
from something else. Yeah.
Can we go to the bank and get a loan?
No, I'm afraid we don't have any banks dispensing electronic markers.
Okay, so then
Or-
they
No, and actually, even if you had more pins, you would still have a limited budget.
Exactly, right,
Okay,
cause that's.
So
right.
you see this and go, oh, we need to spend money there, but the fact is that that money has to come away from something else. Okay, if it's not coming away from other research, it's coming away from, I don't know, schools or roads or something
Right.
else that they, yeah, so, it's, can't have it all. Now, we're going to the second round. So for this round, we're gonna have teams of 3, which in this case is everybody at the table, okay? 2 or 3, I should say. Each team just needs 1 tablet. So probably the easiest thing to do is for you two to just sort of get up next to Carrie there, and you can all share, or Terrence, if you wanna be your own small group, you can do that, or.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Oh, we can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Better?
Oh, yeah.
And we do have that in the beginning of the facilitator guide.
Yeah,
To
okay.
adjust the lights,
Yeah.
Great.
So, each team just needs 1 tablet, let's say 1 tablet, and you use 1 game board. So you ignore the other tablets, okay? As you gather around, please enter in all of your individual identifying letters. Remember those letters I made you print out before? Okay? So enter them in there.
You have to go to the next round, right?
Oh, oops, I'm sorry. I need to push a button first. Okay, you should have it coming up shortly if it's not there. So enter the individual player letters, and then hit submit, and then, if it's right, confirm group. Just like the first round, in the second round you make choices by putting markers on the game board, and this time you have to decide amongst the 3 of you where those should be, okay? You're making the decision together for your neighborhood or your town, not just for yourself and your family, okay? So take about 15 minutes
Who wants to
or
do
less
that?
for this step.
Go.
Now, just as Chad says, we will choose all together as one big group, okay? So in the first round, you made decisions personally. In the second round, a small group for a neighborhood or a town. And now we're choosing for our entire community, okay? So we're gonna use the big game board up here on the wall. So say what you think should be included. Argue with each other if you need to, in a very civil way, of course. But as long as someone just sort of shout out what you think should be included, what we should choose.
Remote help.
Sorry. Promote health? Okay, what level?
Level 1.
Level 1? Everybody agree?
Yeah.
Sounds
Yep, that sounds good. Okay. Anybody disagree? If one person disagrees, then I'll usually ask, does everybody agree with at least level 1? Because some people might want something more, if they want something less, then we put it on the list of possibilities, okay? Okay, next category you want.
Health and equity.
What level?
I would say 2.
Everybody agree?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah?
No?
No?
Why not?
Okay, someone's got to disagree, so
Right.
let's choose another category. This is our
Okay.
filmographer over there.
Rare
Yeah.
diseases.
Rare diseases, okay,
No.
what level?
No.
Level 3.
No.
Level 3
Disagree.
rare diseases, okay.
Disagree.
You disagree? Okay, why?
Just to give Carrie a hard time.
Okay. Carrie, why don't you tell Terrence why you think level 3 rare
Because
diseases should be
this
covered?
is a really important topic, and I think it's neglected.
If it's rare, do we really need to spend that money? Because it's rare.
I would say spend a little money, but not lots.
And I'm okay with that, so
Because
I'm level 1,
we still
I'm
have
okay
lots
with
more
level 1.
categories to go over, and what if we run out of pegs?
I'm
Fair
all
enough.
for it.
I think that Charles is very valid. I'm willing to go down.
So, what level are we talking now?
2.
No, level 1.
Let's go to 1, and and if we still have pegs, then we can see if we can add to it.
Okay.
I'm okay with that.
All right, you can make your arguments later for going up on that if you want to. Okay, next category. Patient
Include
doctor.
the-
Patient doctor, what level? So this is research to improve relationships between doctors and other
That's
healthcare
expensive.
workers and patients.
Let's just do level 1, because it does take a lot of pegs.
Okay. Any disagreement?
I agree.
No?
Okay. Next.
Improve research,
Okay. What level?
level 2.
Okay.
No, that's too
Seven
expensive.
all at once. Let's just do 1 and see if we can add to it later.
Okay. Why do you think that improved research should be covered
Well,
at a higher level?
Well, I was just, one of the things was going back to what we just said about patient doctor, and there's research involved in patient doctor, so if we put more money in improving that research, we may get better outcomes in terms of patient doctor.
Okay. So level 1 and maybe come back?
Yeah.
Okay. Next category,
Family and caregivers.
okay, what level?
I think it should be level 2.
Okay, how about the rest of you?
I can stick with level 2.
Yeah?
I can deal with that. I can go with
Okay.
that. 70%, I can do it.
70%. Carrie, explain to us why you think it should be covered at level 2.
Well, I think that it's not something, there's not a, it doesn't seem to be a lot, like, it seems to be a real struggle for a lot of families and caregivers, and it doesn't seem like there's a lot of support systems. So I think we put some money in research to kind of improve that, it'll make a difference, and we might get, good bang for our buck
Okay,
if we do level 2.
so level 2? Hearing no disagreement? What's next? How about, let's see, quality of life, access?
Causes of disease?
Causes of disease, we did that one yet? No, okay, what level?
Level 2.
Okay,
I would go for that.
okay,
I'd like to.
But bearing in mind, if we run out of pegs for anything else, we might go down to level 1.
That's
okay,
fair.
because,
That's fair.
Because, there's a lot of other important priorities.
I myself rather figure out what causes the disease than how to fix it after it's there.
level 1, maybe level 2 later, or did we say level 2, but maybe level 1? Level 2?
We might have to.
Okay, I'm sorry, I misremembered that, okay. Next, we're still, haven't done compare approaches, new approaches,
Compare approaches.
okay? So this is research that, compares different ways to find or treat disease, okay?
I say
Which
go
gets to your
fast.
point, I
Level
think
1.
at least a level 1.
Level 1.
Okay.
Because this one takes seven markers, that's a lot. We're getting down to a few.
Okay, so we haven't talked yet about.
Access.
Now remember, you don't have to choose any level in a category. If you wanna leave it off completely, you can. So, access, what level?
3.
Infinite, okay. Level 3 on access?
Let's go to 2.
This is one more marker. This is one more.
Huh? Terrence, why do you think it's, important to go up on the access?
Well, as I think about all of what we talked about, I mean, access is at the core. I mean, if you don't have access to the doctors or the caregiver system, or even to compare different approaches, you know, and even if it's a rare disease, if you can't go and have it looked at and identified as that, then, you know, how do I know?
Okay. Chara, what do you think?
I would say we could go with 3, but we may have to reel it back if we want to adjust it at the end.
Okay.
Okay,
Are you okay with that? You can always go back and change it. quality of life. What level do you want for that? So this is research that better understands patients' needs and wishes and how to improve quality of life. So research about what quality of life is and how it differs between people and how to make it better.
I'd say level 2.
I agree with you.
Level 2, everybody's in agreement.
Wow.
Everybody likes quality of life.
It's close to 4:30.
Okay, and let's see, what about multiple conditions?
Level 1.
Level 1 for multiple conditions, level 1.
Didn't
Oh,
we have
yeah.
I thought
family
we
and
had-
caregivers?
yeah.
That's special
Okay.
needs.
I thought we had something
We
for
get
family.
family and caregivers.
Oh, you're right,
This is
it's
special.
the arrows. are
This
the-
one is families and caregivers.
Oh,
this
that
one's
one,
special
okay,
needs.
okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Okay,
It's special
So-
needs.
okay, did we do multiple conditions yet?
Oh, let's, we said level 1.
Did we say
Or
level?
Carrie-
Everybody,
Carrie said
everybody agree with that?
Yeah,
Okay, easy. Special needs?
I'd say level 2.
But we only have 8 left.
Yeah, now we gotta figure out
We
who's
have a
gonna get
compare,
more.
we have compare approaches still to do.
Let's see.
I thought we just did compare approaches.
We did new approaches, not compare approaches.
Now, you did compare approaches, but not new approaches.
So if we do, I guess we could also do level 2 for special needs and still do new approaches at level 1.
Okay, so if we do, does everybody agree with, level 2 for special needs?
Yeah,
Okay, and
then we
new
have 5
approaches?
pegs. Level 1 for this.
Then we can put that peg in rare diseases.
Now, is there anyone who wants to argue for a different level for new approaches? Because we can make changes, we can go back and take things from other things that
No.
said we could scale back, no?
No.
Level 1, okay. And you got one left.
Rare disease.
We got a vote for rare disease, what else? What are the other things we were talking about?
Promote health.
Rare disease.
Okay,
Which are your vote?
make an argument for promote health. And then I'm gonna let you make an argument for rare diseases. Don't worry, everybody gets their say,
What is 2? Just
so. So it's more research on more complicated
I would
ways to make places
my
healthy and safe.
my argument would be that it would help a broader range of people. But
Okay,
the
you
impact
convinced
is
me.
broader. Oh, wow, okay.
I said.
Wow,
so.
that was so,
I
okay.
was like, am I gonna have
The
to say
deliberation
just because I
quality
said
in this
so?
group has really been kind of flat, okay? Just so you know.
The, what do you call it, the debating part of it?
Yeah, yeah. It's been a little, come on, gonna move along here. Okay, so, just looking at this now, I want everybody to take a look at it and say, is there anything that you would suggest changing? Or you wanna make an argument to the rest of the group to change something?
Someone change something.
I think access, the 3rd level should go to rare disease middle level.
Okay,
Since somebody demanded us to do it.
so tell us again why, you're so fixated on rare diseases. Important to me. By the way, don't use that question. Tell us again why you think rare
Do
disease.
you have a rare disease?
It's very personal. That's a personal question, right? So why do you think rare diseases should have more research knowledge? You're okay with taking that one from access and putting it on rare diseases? What about you, Charlie?
Sort of a toss-up. Oh, man, that looks ugly.
Oh my
Okay,
gosh,
so
that's
we decided
terrible.
not to put any research into multiple conditions, so where are those 2 markers going?
Improve research.
Or
No,
access.
no, I say add it to access, and then we can add it to family and caregivers.
Okay,
I
I'm okay
agree.
with that. I'm okay with that.
Good, okay.
That's good. Susan, is there any other questions the facilitator should ask the group before they move to round 4?
Right, that's a good question. That's a very good
So how do you end this round?
The only thing I would say is, Emily, you've been awfully quiet.
Okay.
So why don't you, tell us what you would change about this board?
I would put more into health and equity.
Okay? And what do the rest of you think? Now, tell us why you would do that. Why
Health
do
and
you-
equity is important in my community, and I think it spans more than just my community, so I think more research needs to be done to have better health equality.
What do the rest of you think about that?
Go back to the big board so I can see how many causes.
Oh, see.
So you're saying take
So
one
you
from
would take one
causes.
from causes,
Right there, level 2.
And then one from, what was the other one?
you
Rare
wanted
disease.
health,
So they're both still funded.
Uh-oh, Carrie's in. Uh-oh.
I don't know anyone with a rare disease, so I'm not very touched by it.
So like that,
Yeah.
feel free to argue with her. But your
Nah.
cogentness.
where's your cogentness now?
Yeah, where's your cogentness?
Well, she shut down my opinion 1, 2, and 3 with my strong arguments, so. Oh well.
So it sounds like if people at the table if there's not a lot of discussion, you reach out to them near the end of
Well,
round
You have
3.
to be a little bit careful. The main thing really as a facilitator is that you want, if possible, everybody to be speaking up. Usually, that's not been a problem. People, if are often quite willing to speak their minds. Every once in a while, there's a quiet person. And I'll sometimes say, what do you think about that suggestion? Rarely would I sort of spotlight them on the whole board. I might say instead, like when this issue of rare diseases came up, I said, if she'd been sitting there quietly the whole time, even though she's not actually playing this time, I'd say, Emily, what do you think about the rare diseases issue? And just to sort of make sure everybody gets a chance to kind of, and she says, I don't know what to think about it, and you just move on.
Okay.
Put pressure on them.
Okay.
What do you do when someone is hogging they are too noisy? There's the quiet one and then there's the really noisy one. How do you handle that?
Yeah, that's hard. And usually I just say, just a minute, I want to hear from a couple other folks. So just hold that thought, write down, take a note if you want to make sure we get back to it or whatever. But I want to hear from some of these other folks too. So, and then that kind of subtly gets across the, don't hog the whole conversation.
Right.
Message,
Okay.
so. Okay?
So how do you end round 3?
Oh, okay, so have we all decided? We're all okay with the board the way it stands? Perfect, yep. Okay, excellent. Then, we're done. With that, okay, now we're gonna do a couple more things. First, now you're gonna move to the 4th round. Basically, you're doing the same thing you did each of these other times, but just by yourself. And make health research category choices based on your own opinion, your own priorities. With all that you've heard and thought about today, you may have changed your mind, maybe you didn't. So we're just interested to hear what you think. So go ahead. When you made all your choices, again, hit end, well, don't hit it, just touch end round. And there's 2 more things after this, then survey, so you touch the take survey button there. It should take maybe 5 or 10 minutes. Feel free to hit skip every time if you want to.
Oh, you have to do your letter, that's the only one.
Okay.
Yeah, and you'll need to enter your player identification letter.